please listen carefully. There are three different types of US patent search what we can do. I will do. I will share my screen. Kindly listen. So I will first go to the US patent website. So first what I have to do is I have to go and click the word USPTO. So after clicking this USPTO, once, so what we had in the Indian patent website, here we have patents, trademarks, IP policy, and learning resources. I'm sure you are actually seeing my screen. Well, on this particular, so on this particular word patents, you have one thing here called search for patents. So once you click this word called search for patents, here when you come down here, there are three kind of search available: quick search, advanced search, and patent number search. These are very, very important. Okay, so quick search, advanced search, and patent number search. All right. Now here, when I click the word called quick search, I'm clicking the word called quick search. So here I'm going to use the same title here, and I'm going to do a search: automatic eraser. Say for example, I'm using this word automatic eraser at the US patent website. Here I have to find from 1976 to present. I can take two options here, but this option is preferable, 1976 to present. Then I'm doing the search. These operators are very, very important: and operator, or operator, or and not. So these Boolean operators are very important while doing the search. Now I'm going to use this where on the title or on all fields. I'm going to use these on the titles, automatic eraser. So I'm giving the word search. Let's see what happens. We have to wait. So here I'm getting three documents. I'm getting three documents that is titled called automatic backboard eraser apparatus. Now, when I go back again and I give all the fields, this includes the entire application, When I go with that, what is the result that I receive? So kindly hold the line. Here, when I do this particular search, here I'm getting around 2010 result. I'm getting 2010 results on the title called automatic backboard eraser. So this is one kind of search that is called the simple search. This search is called quick search or called the simple search. In case you want to go for advanced search, what should I do? Please listen carefully. In case when I want to go for advanced search, here I'm coming back, and then of the three options, I'm going for this particular word called advanced search. So when I go for this advanced search, so we go for this advanced search. Here we get this particular query search. In this query search, you have to use the field codes properly for doing the right search. So when you do the field code, what will you get when you use the field code? Here, there is a particular style in which you have to use the field code. Say for example, IN stands for inventor name, and this IC stands for inventor city. So suppose if I know the inventor name is John. So I'm going to type this IN bar John, and I'm going to use the operator and I'm going to use the particular city in which I know from where he hails from. I want to find his invention. So I'm going to use this particular city name, IC. So and IC bar, let me type the word Chicago. So what does it exactly mean? I'm going to find inventor's invention by the name John in the place of Chicago. Let me do whether, first let us find whether do we have any inventors who have filed patent in the city of Chicago. Yes. So there are almost 3,834 Johns who have filed patent in the city of Chicago. So participants, please understand, when you do this kind of search, you are actually doing a search where you are doing an advanced search for finding using the field codes. Please listen how to use the field codes. I hope you all are keenly observing my presentation. So these field codes are combined codes. See, for example, suppose if I want to go with the title, see the title. So say, for example, if I want to go with the title, I am saying I'm a, so I'm putting type TTL here, bar. Let me choose the title eraser, and let me do a search. So the title, I have 295 patents with the title called eraser alone. Please listen. Now I want to add more to it. I want to find the title eraser and in a particular state. Say for example, in a particular state, I want to search for the title eraser. Then I am giving and, I'm using the operator and then I'm doing the, I'm typing the state name, IS is a field code. Here you can see IS is a field code. And then I'm typing, let me type a state, California. Okay. Eraser would be more particular word. Let me type a common word, automatic. Okay, automatic and IS California. Let us find whether we do have any search. Okay, there are no patents on this particular state. All right. Here, so this is a kind of search that you do with the field code. So you should be using the field code. Say, I know that I know the issue date, or I know the inventor's name here, or I know the patent number. Accordingly, you have to type and do a search here. So this kind of search is called searching through the field code. Okay. So there is one more search.
Professor,
see, participants, please listen carefully.
Professor, your voice is breaking in between.
One second. Yes, sir. All right, because I'm going through the patent website. Patent websites are basically very heavy, sir. So normally when I start accessing the website simultaneously one after the other, what happens is the net connection becomes slow. This I have seen in many presentations. I have seen this. So I'll go slower. Okay. I'll go slower because simultaneously when I search for more products, when I search for more titles, the net connection becomes very slow because patent databases are very heavy. Okay. So I'll go slow in my presentation. Okay, sir. What you can do, what participants you can do is you can note it down. There are 3 searches on the USPTO. One is a quick search. Another one is the advanced search, that is called the field code search. Just now we did that, field code search. And the third search is called the classification code search. See, this is very, very important. I am sure you are seeing the screen called patent searching using classification codes. So this is called cooperative patent classification code. So the USPTO, that is the United States Patent Trademark Office, and the European Patent Office, they both have signed an MOU and they have decided the classification code search. So please understand what is classification code search. Say for example, you go to a Reliance supermarket. And then you buy a particular product. So what you will do, the moment you enter inside the shop, for sure, the food products will be on the ground floor, electronics will be on the first floor, and shopping garments will be on the second floor. So every object is classified, and particularly when you go to the ground floor, which is the food, where you get the food. You will have groceries arranged on one side, you have the rice materials arranged on the other side, you have the biscuits arranged on the leftmost side, you have the pickles arranged on the rightmost side, you have the vegetable section on the farthest side where you have the chiller. So you get all these things separately. So all these things are arranged separately. So they are classified, the goods are classified in a particular order. Similarly, when you go to a library, to fetch a book, you can easily access the library by means of using the codes. So they will have codes. They have particular barcodes where they are separated as sections. Electrical engineering books on the leftmost side, mechanical engineering books on the rightmost side, or biomedical engineering go to the top floor, and you have books arranged. And when you go to the electrical department book section, there you have the subjects arranged. You have various subjects arranged, and when you go to the particular subject section, there you have different racks where you have the codes and you access the book easily. So using the codes, we can pull out the precise document and the right document more precisely. So when you go to a grocery shop or when you go to a library, using the codes, you are able to pull out the right and the precise document. The same thing we are going to do here. What we are going to do, I have the CPC codes. I have two examples here with which I'm going to pull out the right document. Okay. So I have two inventions that are given here. So here, say for example, this is a particular invention for the contact lens. So here I have the code G02C7bar04, what you see on the screen. So for this, this particular code, this is a precise code which is an invention based on the contact lenses. I have another example. This is a very simple invention which is done on the toothbrush, especially on the bristles. So this is A46B9bar04. So you access a particular goods in a grocery shop or you access a particular book using the code search. The same thing we are going to do here to access our particular invention. All right. So here we have the code. So let me do the code search here. So please follow up with me. So I'm typing the word CPC codes. CPC codes. So I have already done a search. So I'll straightly go to this CPC code search G02. G02. So here, so when I type this CPC code, okay, here. So here I'm going to get the right document for the particular invention. So here you have to understand how these things are made. So every particular code, see when you take the classification resources here, D, so A, B, C, D, they are arranged in a different format like this. Or when you go to the cooperative patent classification code, cooperative patent classification code, cooperative patent classification system. So every products are arranged based on the codes. See here you can see A for human necessities, B for performing operations, C for chemistry, D for textiles, E for fixed constructions, F for mechanical engineering, G for physics, E for electricity. So our code comes here G, because here our invention is based on the contact lenses. So G, when you take it as a broad one, here G2 is for optics. So it's G02. Again, when I go for this optics, here we have the sub-classification. So here ours is G02C. So G02B is there, G02C is for spectacles, sunglasses, goggles. And when I click this, again there will be a super subclass here. So here I have 7bar04. What is 7bar04? Here we have 7, and here I have to click again for getting this 7bar04. See, 7bar02 is different one, 7bar04. Contact lens for the eyes, disinfection or sterilization of contact lenses. So this is a particular classification code for our invention. So when you get your invention, you have to use these classification code so that you can pull out the exact patent document. All right, you can pull out the exact patent document using this cooperative patent classification codes. Participants, please note down these things. These things are very careful. These things are very, very important, and these things are very carefully you should listen, because maybe this is the first time you're listening to this kind of presentation. Might be tough for you, or might be I'm putting more information, so it might be clumsy, but you have to note down all these things, and definitely you should do a homework. You have to do a homework of all these things so that you'll be familiarized with these things. Okay, first I said about Google patents. First I said about Google search, that is wrong. Then Google patents, then I was talking about advanced Google patents. Then I was talking about USPTO. In USPTO, there are 3 different types of searches. One is a quick search, Another one is the advanced search, that is a field code search. The third one is a CPC, that is cooperative patent classification search. So searching using classification codes. When you search using cooperative patent classification codes, that is a combined search of the search database designed by the European Patent Office and the US Patent Office. So you have to pull out your right document. You have to pull out, that is using the classification code. All right, we'll go with another example. Here I have another example, A46B9/04. So this is a one particular invention for toothbrushes. All right, so I'm again going to this particular search database. All right, here, okay. Now when I type A, so I said they are classified, right? They are classified. Okay, A is for human necessities. So when I click on A, I'm getting this A01, A02. So this goes lengthy here. So when I type this particular word A, that is for human necessities, then I have to type 46B. I have to go for this 46B. 46 is for brushware here. So when I click again here, 46B is there, 46D is there. 46B is precisely for brushes. Again, 46B here, again we have this subclass here, wherein our invention here, I have taken the code as 9/04. So here 9, arrangements of bristles in the brush body. So again 9/04, for this 04, see 005, where the brush material is not made of bristles. 02 is for position of arrangements of bristles. So everything is unique and different. Here A46B 9/04 is arranged like in R for toothbrushes. So this is a kind of a novel toothbrush which is having a different kind of arrangements of bristles on the toothbrush. So this is a particular code, A46B 9/04. So likewise, you have to pull in the right classification code. Using the classification code, you can easily pull out the document. So using these classification codes, you can precisely do a search on the database, on the USPTO as well as on the European Patent Database. So this is one very important kind of search methodology. All right. So if we will go for the next method, I'll get back to my presentation. I think you are noting down all these things, participants. All right. So the another one important search that is the WIPO search. All right. So we'll go. So I'll do a quick summary before I can proceed. First, I was talking about Google search, then Google patent search, then US patent search. In US patent search, quick search, advanced search, and then search using classification codes. The next one is I'm going to take about the WIPO search. So what is WIPO? World Intellectual Property Rights Organization, WIPO. The head office is at Geneva, Switzerland. So yes, when you do a WIPO search, when you get onto this website, I think you can see my screen. You have to wait. Okay. So here, IP services. So the WIPO search is otherwise called as Patent Scope, or you can type in Google called Patent Scope. Patent Scope. When you type Patent Scope, so that is the official term for the WIPO patent search. Patent Scope. So when you do the when you type in the word called Patent Scope, so participants kindly make a note of these things. Patent Scope is the official search database for the WIPO patent search. All right, so you have to wait. You have to wait. Okay, so here you go. See here, you have to type the word here. There are two different searches again here. Here you have again you have the same thing. Advanced simple search, advanced search, field combination search, cross-lingual expansion, and chemical compounds. All these things are available here on the Patent Scope search engine. So let me type a word here. Let me type a word here. Let me type a one. Cleaning mechanism for ceiling fan. Cleaning mechanism. Or let me type our title, automatic blackboard eraser. Automatic blackboard eraser. All right, so I'm typing this word, automatic blackboard eraser. So let me search. Here the field gives, here you have option to choose your field, whether it is on the title or is it on the entire document or is it on the front page? You have to select. So you have 404 results. See, you have 404 results for the particular word called automatic blackboard eraser. So here, see, now you can pull out the document. You can just click and find whether your invention is different from their invention. In what way that your invention is different from their invention, that is done only by means of going through such kind of process called patent searching. All right. So you can click one particular document where you will get all the details of a particular document. All right. Now let me do the advanced search also. Advanced search. So what will happen when you do the advanced search? Okay. See, in advanced search, here you have the options. What are the options you have? Here you have the options to trim your search. Like you have the options to select the officers, whether you want all the officers or you want, suppose say for example, you are filing a patent in a particular country. So you can choose that particular country alone and you can do a search. So those kind of customization is available on the advanced search. And yeah, you can also, tailor the date. So those options are available. You can choose a date from this date to this date. I want a search. So those kind of customization can be done using this advanced search. All right. So say for example, here I am choosing this particular word, search in Africa for a particular title. Let me say I'm going to a backpack with a weighing scale. Backpack with weighing scale. So, okay. Or let me type all. Let's see what happens here. A backpack with weighing scale. I'm just typing, I'm just doing the searching. Let us see. We have to wait. I have to then and there see the Google Meet page so as to find that whether you are on connection, because many times I am speaking but the connection is already lost. Okay. So here you go. See, you have 1961 results for the particular title, a backpack with a weighing scale. So backpack, what we carry on our back, the backpack with the weighing scale. So as to find how many kilograms of weight you carry. A backpack with the weighing scale is given here. Here you have these are the search results you get. 1961 search results you get. Now, here you can do this simple search, advanced search, field combination search, and cross-lingual expansion. All these things are available here on the patent scope. Okay, that is so far I have said about Google Patents, USPTO, and then classification code search, and then the patent scope. Okay. Apart from this, there are some more search engines. Those are paid search engines, namely the Questel Orbit. Questel Orbit, you can note down this word, Questel Orbit, QUESTL, Questel Orbit search engine. And you have the patent scope, the Patseer website. Patseer is a very popular search engine. And you also have another paid database that is called LexisNexis, LEXIS, Total Patents by LexisNexis. So these are prioritized searches. They have prioritized search. You will get many options in this kind of database, because a patent document, by means of doing the free search, you can definitely not pull out all the documents. But yes, you can do some kind of a search wherein you can find whether your invention is clearly distinct or already that invention is already existing. So it is very important for us to do a patent search before even we start to file a patent, or even we plan of a patent. First you have to do a thorough search. Say for example, I'm going to buy a property, I'm going to buy a land. So when I buy a land, first though the seller is known to me, I cannot trust on the seller fully. What I will do, I will go to the register office, then I will go and I will pay 350 rupees, and then I will do a Villangam check. What do you call that as EC check? So at the end of the day, when I mark the land and I give it to the register office, so they will be telling me, yes, this land is currently owned by this seller, and there are no Villangam on this particular land. You are good to go. You can buy this land. Then I can go and make the dealing with the seller for me to buy the land from the seller. So there is a proper procedure involved, right? Similarly, when you do a patent filing without doing a proper patent search, your entire time and your entire money goes in vain. Okay, so you have to do a thorough patent search. Of course, this information is for the faculty members and for the institution as well. You can get discounts whenever you go for this paid database like Crystal Orbit or this Total Patents or PATSEER. They when they have separate discounts for academic institutions where you can get complete access to the database. So comparing this free database, those databases are very, they will do a more refined search. And even I have taken a one week trial from the Questel Orbit database. Those searches are wonderful search databases where you can easily pull out the record in whichever country. In all the 257 countries, you can easily pull out the record and you can clearly do a patent search. All right, fine. So now we have another 20 minutes of time. So what I will do is I will quickly go to the documentation process. So these are the basic things what you should do before even think of downloading a patent form for patent filing. All right. So once you do all these searches and then read through all the documents, then you can feel all right. You can think, okay, our invention is not done anywhere. So definitely we can go for patent filing. Okay. So what are the things a patent document will have? Two things: bibliography and then the technical information. In our Indian Patent Office, the Form 1 and Form 2 are there. For initial filing, what are the steps you have to do? That I will tell you now clearly. So kindly go through this. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, I think I'm already sharing my screen here. When you go to this Indian Patent website, on the home page, I said there are 4 things you have. The patents, designs, trademarks, GIs, 4 things I said. On the particular column called patents, you have to go to administration and you have to click the forms and fees. I said for the initial filing, you are going to pay only 1,750 as a government fee for the Indian Patent Office. So this is Form 1. So I'm downloading Form 1. You can easily download Form 1 here. So has Form 1 come out? Okay. Yes, this is Form 1. So Form 1, it is very easy to fill Form 1. As I said, Form 1 is only the bibliography. So I'll quickly go through what are the things available on the Form 1. So Form 1, you have the what type of application. So these things are for the office use. Just don't worry about this. Here you have what type of application. Is it ordinary or convention or PCT? Initially, our application is ordinary application. So you can go for ordinary application. And is it divisional, patent of addition? These things you need not confuse. So patent of addition is, in case if you miss any embodiment, you want to go for addition of patent, you have to go for this. Or, in case of PCT application, international filing, or in case of applying on particular convention countries, you have to go for this. Initial stage, you need not worry about this. You have to take this ordinary alone. Then here, you have to fill the applicant's name and nationality and the address. And here you have the, yes, whether you are the natural person. In case you are filing individually, yes, you are the natural person. What is the small entity and large entity? In case the company is filing, in case if, say for example, if Federal Institute is filing, or if PSNA College is filing, or Ford is filing, they have to go for large entity. Other than natural person, you have to take this. For us, initially, natural person. Inventors, okay. Please understand who is the applicant. Applicant is the owner of the patent. And who is the inventor? Inventor is the one who invents the patent. In our case, when an individual is filing, the applicant and inventor are the same. So don't get confused. Applicant and inventor are the same. Okay. So applicant and inventor are the same. Click yes, then it is fine. So you have, in case if applicant is different, if applicant is the college and inventor is you, then you have to put applicant name as college name, and inventor you have to put your name. And for your information, participants, the applicant holds the entire right for the patent. The applicant holds the right to cancel the patent, to sell the patent, to license the patent. The applicant is the owner of the patent. So applicant holds the entire right of the patent. All right. So inventor will take a share only by the terms between the applicant and the inventor. Okay. So inventor cannot claim over the patent. Applicant is the owner of the patent. So applicant has the complete right over the patent. Here you are giving the title of the invention. And in case if there are any agents, if you seek an agent, and you have to give that agent name, otherwise this is not required. An address for communication. Here you have to give your doorstep address. And these 8, 9, 10, 11 you can ignore, because in case of applying application claiming priority in field in convention countries particulars. So when you file an application when you want to file a foreign application, you have to first file an application in India, and within 6 months you have to apply on the convention countries. So those details has to be filled here. As an initial state, you can ignore these things. So this also PPCT application for international phase, and for those things you have to file here. So when you file a foreign application, also you have to give those details here. So as for us, we can ignore this 8, 9, 10. So in case of divisional application, or patent of addition, no, we are not going to do. We are going to file for the first time. So item number 8, 9, and 10, 11, you can ignore. Okay. Then the declaration. The declaration is, yes, you have to, the applicant should give the declaration here that yes. Okay. Give me one moment. Okay. And here a declaration by the inventor and declaration by the applicant. So here this is the declaration by the inventor. In case inventor or applicant are the same, here you will put the sign here on the date, and here you will put the sign on the date. And here this is something very important. What are all the documents you are attaching with the application? What are all the documents? So the because we are initially, while filing for the provisional application, I said form 1 and form 2 is required. So form 1, form 2, and number of diagrams, number of drawings, number of pages, abstract, a 1-page write-up, and number of claims. For provisional applications, claim is not required. So these things you have to fill it up, and you have to pay. Either you can send a demand draft, or you can go in person and pay the fee. The best option is due to COVID lockdown now. The only option what you have is you can post it by India Post, by Speed Post. What you can do is you have to attach a DD for 1,750 rupees with form 1 and form 2. Now I have said only about form 1, so you have to wait for form 2. So this is form 1. Okay, this is form 1. And I'm going to show one example of my student's patent. Okay, so what are the things that he has filed? So kindly wait. So yeah. So this is my student's patent here. Yeah. So this is form 2. All right. So this I can disclose this information because already patent is filed. So this is form 2. Form 2 will have all the technical information. So just now what we discussed is form 1. Form 1 will have the bibliography. That is, who is the applicant, who is the inventor, what is the doorstep address, and whether you are filing it for the first time, whether you are a small entity or you are a natural person, what is the address for communication. Those things will have the form 1. Form 1 you can fill in 10 minutes. Okay. And form 2 is very important. Form 2 will have the following things. First, the title of the invention, then the applicant's name. Here he is the applicant. Applicant is Mohammed Siddiq, my student. And this is a title. So the title is IoT based automatic floor cleaning machine. So here, please note down, there are certain things which you have to be very careful while you fill up the form 2. Okay, form 2, first you have to give a short description about the invention. That is called the field of invention. So this particular invention is the automatic floor cleaning machine. So this present invention is an apparatus which is an automatic floor cleaning and is an apparatus for cleaning without any manual process. So the field of invention will talk in few words about what this invention is all about. Okay, so after the title and after the applicant's details, then comes the field of invention. Field of invention, you are briefing about the invention, what is this, that is all about. Then comes the prior art. Please understand what is prior art. Prior art talks about what are all the existing inventions, the closest invention. So the result of the patent search. When we do a patent search, we will get many documents, right? So you have to choose the narrowest result, the closest result to your patent. Those things you have to mention here, the prior arts. And you have to explain in what way your invention is different from the prior arts. So you can pick up some 7 to 10 patent documents which are very close to your invention, and you can mention the patent number and the date of filing the application and what is that invention. And finally, you can say in what way your invention is different from their invention. By means of this, you are giving a comfort, you are giving a confidence to the patent office that yes, you have done a good invention and your invention is unique. Okay, so the prior art search, what you do, and those has to be presented here next to the title, next to the applicant's details and title. The prior arts has to be lined up here. So you can narrate that invention. You need not give the complete document. You have to narrate it briefly, and you have to explain in few words how is it yours different from theirs. All right. So see the prior art. You can here my student has taken 7 prior arts and he has given that. All right. Next is the background of the invention. Please understand, a patent is a techno-legal document. So concept wise you have to be very clear. Concept wise you have to disclose it as much as clear as possible, but you have to be very vague in terms of the specifications. Say for example, I have an invention for a particular for a particular blackboard eraser. I should be very clear on the concept, on the working methodology, but I should not be specific on the apparatus, to its physical appearance, or to its dimensions, or to its the voltage what it operates. For those things I should not be precise, because when you claim it for one particular voltage, somebody will claim it for a different voltage range. When you claim it for a particular size, somebody will claim it for a different thing. So you have to be very clear with the working methodology. You have to be very clear with the in explaining the diagrams. You have to be clear with the operation, working operation, and you have to be clear with the mechanism, and everything you should be very clear. And when you are vague, you'll be losing the patent. You should be as much as clear. You have to disclose each and everything on the patent very clearly, so that you will be very safe at the time of getting a patent grant. Okay, but you should be you need not mention the technical parameters, on what voltage does it operate and how does it happen. You need not mention, okay, mine works with this particular software, mine works with this particular hardware. No, you need not mention those things. So you have to be very precise with the working methodology and the uniqueness of it. So for that, the background of the invention talks about why did you come out with this invention. So the history behind this invention, that you have to talk in the background of the invention. So to prepare a technical documentation, to do this documentation, my best suggestion for the participants is that you have to download patent documents either from Google Patents, or you have to download documents from the Indian Patent Office, or you have to download patents from the patent scope, and you have to download and pull out a document and read it completely, so that you will get the knowledge of how to document a patent. So I'll be telling you now, I'll be taking another 10 minutes of time. I'll be telling you what are all the documentation process what you're doing. Okay. So first is here you went with the title of the invention, then the applicant's details, then the field of invention, that is a short description about the invention, then the title, then the prior arts, the existing inventions, those things you have to mention. Then comes the background of the invention. Background of the invention talks about the reason that why you have come out with this invention, and the list of figures, the diagrams. What are all the diagrams? What are all the diagrams that in which you are explaining the 3-dimensional view, the top view of the device, you should be very careful while you describe the diagram. The diagram should be very neat. Those should be a single line diagram, and you should not mark anything on the diagram. You have to just give the numbers, and with that numbers you have to try to explain it. Okay. So then comes the detailed description of the figures and the detailed summary of the invention. So you have to explain that the figure 1 shows the 3D view of the automatic floor cleaner device, and then figure 2 shows the front view of the automatic floor cleaner device. So then you should narrate very clearly, so that when the examiner or the controller takes your patent document, he will clearly understand the working methodology behind it. So you have to narrate the working methodology of the particular apparatus clearly, step by step, on this particular section, that is called the detailed description of the diagrams. All right. So then see here, I have not mentioned, I haven't put the diagrams. I want to keep this confidential, because it is we have just done the provisional application, we haven't filed the complete one. So then comes the claims. Okay, so what is a claim? I will quickly tell what is a claim, then I will ask for clarifications. Okay, so what are the things a patent document should have? First, the title of the invention, then the applicant's, that is, I'm talking about Form 2. The title of the invention, the applicant's details, then the field of invention, then the prior arts, then you should talk about the background of the invention, and then you have to give the list of figures. After giving the list of figures, then you have to deal with the detailed description of the figures. Finally comes the claims. Okay, please understand what is a claim. Say for example, you have a property, you are buying a land. So what decides the land? The wall, the compound wall, no, that the boundary, the compound wall that will decide your property on this particular place up to this, from this landmark, from this place to this place that is owned to you. So claims are nothing but the boundary walls of your patent. So it talks about what do you exactly claim out of your invention. Okay, to explain the claim, so there are different types of claim. Maybe we will take one more session on the detailed documentation of patent drafting, because claim alone will take a whole day, because it is such a vast topic. But yes, I will give you the best practice. The best practice is when you download patent documents, when you download more documents, you can easily understand what a claim is all about. Now, I'm going to take another 10 minutes of time. 10 minutes of time, I'll be explaining clearly what a claim is. First, let me go to the presentation. Okay. So drafting a patent document. Yes, we saw for the Indian Patent Office, all that you require is Form 1 and Form 2 alone. That too with the fees of 1,750. That is for the initial filing process. Please underline the word initial filing process. In case if you want to do the complete process, you have to fill Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. That's a declaration. There is no fee for that. And very especially Form 9 and Form 18. Form 9 and Form 18 altogether, you will get less than 9,000 rupees for the complete filing process. Yeah, and when you do this, definitely within a span of 3 months, your patent gets published, and thereafter comes the FER, and you have to reply the objections, and then there will be a link that will be sent to you for the hearing, and you're good in the hearing, then definitely you will receive the grant certificate. All right. So I was talking about this particular information, that is the expedited examination form. So this is one important form. This is something very, very interesting and important. Please listen. This particular form is called the Form 18A. Form 18A is a very, very unique form. These are very subtle things. See, request for expedited examination of the application of patent. When you fill this Form 18A, what you have to do is you have to pay additional 8,000 rupees. So here, this is a fee. See, listen carefully. I think you are viewing this particular page, which I am showing you. Okay, so this is the Form 18A fee structure. So here, give me one moment. This is one important form what you should definitely know. When you are really clear with this documentation, when your documentation is pakka, you have this Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 9 and Form 18. Instead of Form 18, one good option is you have to go with this Form 18A. So this you have to do the e-filing. If you pay this 8,000 rupees, definitely you will go with this expedited examination. Your examination will be conducted very quickly. So recently I said in my morning presentation, one person got a patent grant within 8 months. That is, in 9 months he received the patent grant certificate. That is something amazing. So that is done with the help of this Form 18A. But again, you have to pay this excess fees of 8,000 rupees, where you are requesting the patent office for expedited examination, for quick examination. All right. So this is one option. Okay. Now for the initial process, I said Form 1, Form 2 alone will do. Form 3, you're not going to pay any fee. That's a one-page fee. That's a declaration. And Form 9, as I said, Form 9 is for request for publication. This is not mandatory. 2,750, you need not pay. If you want to publish it quickly, within 3 months, you can go for this, or you can ignore this. Students, you can ignore this. And Form 18 also, Form 18, yes, you have to pay. That is request for examination. That you can pay after publishing also, you can pay. But initially, if you want to be quick in the process, you can also request for examination. All right. So these are the procedures. Okay. Now let me go to the presentation. I will quickly explain claims, and I'm sure I will finish my presentation in another 5 to 10 minutes. I'm taking much time because there are lots of contents to be delivered here. Okay, contents in a patent document. Just now we discussed date of filing, name of the applicants, name of the inventors, priority date, and date of publication. And yeah, what are the different types of claims? Okay, claims. I said claims are the boundary walls of the patent. Okay, so claims, there are different types of claims. And I will explain the claim with one solid example so that you can understand what a claim is all about. All right. So let me take that example. Kindly be on the line. Okay. So this is, I think you are now seeing the screen. Kindly wait. I think, yeah. Am I still sharing the screen? Yes. Okay. So All right. Participants kindly wait. Yeah. So this is a particular invention. A backpack equipped with a weighing measuring device. So this particular inventor wants to know how much weight he is carrying on the backpack. So he has integrated a weighing scale on the backpack and he has filed a patent. And maybe this sounds very simple for us. Maybe I thought of giving this one for my child because he's carrying heavy luggage every day. He's carrying a loads of books and notebooks. No, he's carrying to the school. I was worrying why should not we have a measuring scale so that we can find a student weighing 50 kgs and 150 centimeters height should carry only this much kilos of weight on his backpack, beyond which the school should know or the parents should know he should not carry weight beyond his limit. Okay, so this particular inventor, the scientist, he has designed this particular backpack with weighing scale. Our interest is to study what is a claim. Okay, so please listen carefully. See here, these are technical information. These are information related to the patent office. We need not want this. So here the abstract is there, one page write up is there, and here you see he has see there is nothing mentioned on the diagram, only the numbers. See, this is how a patent diagram should be there. No, only there will be numbering, and every numbering is described on the detailed description. Okay, there is nothing written. So this is how the patent diagram should be, a single line diagram. And here, see, every diagram, every part he has mentioned it. Every part he has mentioned very clearly. See, every figures and field of invention. See, this invention relates to a backpack, and particularly a backpack equipped with a weighing scale. Short description of what the invention is all about. Then the background of invention. So background of invention, he is talking about all the reason for the invention, and then why did he go for this invention, what are the problems the school kids had, and those things he will talk in the background of the invention. Then summary of the invention. Summary of the invention, he will talk about what is his invention, wherein he will talk about every diagram. See, for every numbering he has done, right? Every numbering he has done. Then brief description of the drawings. So he has explained the drawings very clearly. Each and every diagram he has explained. You have to listen to this. You have to read this very carefully, because in this he will be explaining the various parts and the operation of every parts very clearly. Okay, very clearly he would have explained. And finally comes the claims. Now listen carefully. We have almost come to the end of the presentation. So yeah, a patent is successful only by the proper claim what you write. The claim decides how you actually win the patent. Okay, so we will see what a claim is all about. All right, so I will get back to the example. Here, where has he written the claim? Okay, so here he has written the claim. What is claimed is, see, the present invention defined is claimed as. So what does he claim out of his invention? What does he demand out of his invention? See, the first claim is called the independent claim. Okay, the first claim is called the independent claim, and the other claims will be dependent on the first claim. That is called the dependent claims. Okay, so I will now first explain what are the claims, different types of claims available in a patent document. Independent claim, dependent claim, Jepson claim, means plus function claim, Marcus claim, product by process claim, and omnibus claim. Okay, all these things are different types of claims. Okay, for each and every type of a product you have to use different types of claim. Here in this particular invention, participants listen carefully. First, see, we understood what this invention is all about. This is a backpack with a weighing scale. See, he has given a broader claim. A backpack comprising a bag having a storage compartment, and a backpack harness configured for securing a bag or a user carrying a backpack, wherein the said backpack includes a pair of shoulder strap assemblies, each shoulder strap assembly including a weight measuring device anchored to the top of the bag, so that when the backpack is carried by the user, the weight load is applied, and said each strap can be determined. Okay, so he has given a broader claim of the patent of his invention. This is called the independent claim. Now next claim, the following claim, let us see the second claim. The backpack of claim 1, wherein the said weight measuring device includes a force resistant element. See, this force resistant element is a new embodiment altered by the application of force thereto, and a weight indicator providing the indication of the force magnitude. Now, look at this claim, third claim. The backpack of claim 2, wherein the force resistant element includes an elastic band. See, now here he is claiming for the elastic band. Here he is claiming for the force resistant element. So this claim is dependent on this claim. Now this claim is dependent on this claim. So these claims are called dependent claims. The first claim is called the broader claim, called the independent claim, and the following claims are called the dependent claim. So when you claim for the whole product, now for the whole product, that's called, that particular claim is called omnibus claim. Okay, what is called a Jepson claim? When you have a particular invention already, and when you're doing an improvement for the existing patent or the existing invention, you go for a type of claim called Jepson claim. What is called means product having a particular function, so that is explained with the help of means plus function claim. What is Marcus claim? When you have a chemical composition, for chemical compositions, now you have to write with the Marcus claim. What is called product by process claim? So when you have a product and when you have a process, of making a particular product, so for those things you have to use the product by process claim. Omnibus. Omni means whole. So you're claiming for the entire product, for the entire invention, we go with the help of omnibus product. Okay. So these are the different types of claims that are available. Okay. So, well, these are my inventions here. Solar power assisted warming crunch disperser. Morning I discussed solar power assisted smart sleeves for the night riders, solar powered book reading tracker, and twisting band timer. The normal timer what we use, you are tracked. The normal smartwatch what you are using, your heart rate, everything is tracked. So I have designed a new timer which is not an electronic device, that is a spinning timer. It's a spinning timer, it's a twisting band timer. I have filed a patent for the same. And so these are some of the inventions of mine. And recently I'm filing 2 more patents. I will not disclose it because I think I'll be filing it by this month end. I have 2 more inventions, and so today in today's second part, we saw 2 things. First, patent searching. I'll give a quick summary before I can finish. I will finish it sharply by 3 o'clock. Thank you for your patient waiting. So we first saw about patent searching, Google patents, advanced Google patents. We saw about USPTO. In USPTO, we saw quick search, and then searching through field codes, and then searching through classification codes, that is CPC, cooperative patent classification code. That's a combination of EPC and USPTO, searching using classification codes. So then we saw the European patent search, EPC. Then we saw the WIPO patent search, that is patent scope. I forgot to tell you the Indian patent website search, that is the INPAS search. You go to the Indian patent website, there you will have patent search, that's called INPAS search. INPAS search is something very simple. You will have various options to pick up from the title or from the entire document, granted patents, published patents, filed. All these things you can search. All these things you can search. So to conclude, is the patents, can we get all the documents on the patent search? The answer is no, because for those which are not given special request for publishing, for 18 months it will be hidden. So when you get a patent document, when you get a search document of a patent, it is not sure like 100% you are getting the document. But yes, the patent offices, they will be having very exclusive search engines where they will precisely pull out your document, and they will find whether your invention is worth of granting. All right. Then we saw about the patent documenting process. I said for Indian Patent Office, there is Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 9, and Form 18. Form 18A, if you want to get a patent within 1 year, if you are good enough, you can go for Form 18A. Otherwise, Form 1, Form 2 alone is enough for students, just paying 1750 rupees. Form 1 is very simple. That will have only your bibliography, your name, address, your title, and whether you are inventor or you are the applicant or you are both, or all these things. And Form 2 will have the technical information. Form 2, you have the field of the invention, the background of the invention, the prior arts, the diagrams, list of figures, detailed description of the diagrams, then finally the claims. All right. So these things, with these things, if you are able to prepare a document, definitely you can file a patent by yourself. Along with Form 1 and Form 2, you should attach a check for a DD for 1070 rupees to the Deputy Controller of the Patent Office, and you have to post it via speed post. All right. So the moment they receive it, they will be immediately giving you, because you already have given your email address on the address for communication in Form 1. So they will be immediately sending you a receipt with a patent application number. So with that number, you can track and you can disclose it very proudly. Yes, you have filed a patent. Yes. So thank you very much for your patient listening, and I'm very sorry that there was a hindrance on the presentation. But my special thanks to Rajesh sir and everyone for your patient listening. Now for queries. Okay, Abhinav Ajit have asked a question, sir. Do we need a digital signature to register and file the patent? In case when you go for e-filing, you need a digital signature, but you don't require any digital signature, because for that you have to get a digital signature from eMudra. So you have to pay another, you have to spend another 4,000, 5,000 rupees to receive digital signature. That is required only when we go for e-filing, Mr. Ajit. So otherwise, you can, for physical filing, for this paper filing, you need not require any digital signature. You can always put your autograph and you can send the documents to the patent office. Why should you spend unnecessary money? You have India Post Service, you can just post it, or you can walk into the Chennai patent office and you can just give the documents, and within 1 hour you will get the receipt. Thank you for your question. Can we go for Indian patent for a product at Ideathon stage without a prototype? What is Ideathon? Product at Ideathon. Okay. See, it is up to you to whether they disclose a product or not. But I will tell you something, Mr. Allen. When you disclose your invention in Hackathon or Ideathon, when you disclose your invention, there ends your the option of getting your patent grant. Normally, what we do is we easily go and publish it. Even even when you publish it in a daily paper, no, sometimes some inventions of this college students have come out with that invention. That's all over. Your patent is already over. So when the patent office finds it is already disclosed, then your invention is already disclosed. That will stand as a prior art for you. Mahendra Kumar, Mr. Mahendra Kumar, do we require an attorney for patent filing? Definitely not. Definitely. Just now I said, no, you download Form 1 and Form 2. If you have any doubt, you call me. I'll be assisting you. Form 1 and Form 2, you download, you fill Form 1. Form 1, you can fill in 10 minutes. Form 2, that's just the drafting your document. You draft the document. You already have my presentations on the YouTube. You can check PSNA EEE Live. You can check my 3 days webinar on IPR. So I'll be telling you how you can file a patent by yourself. You definitely don't require an attorney. An attorney is required only when you go for hearing. When you go for hearing, no, whenever in case if your patent is rejected, or in case if there are any other issues, no, you can always appeal at the High Court. At that time, you need an attorney. But I will tell you, a patent agent will be very useful to you, because he will be helping you in drafting a document. He'll be helping you how to, the minute loopholes. Say, for example, for my first patent, I was really struggling after I received my FER. I did not know what to do. So at that time, there was a patent agent who actually helped me to attend the hearing. So it's a new ball game. No, sometimes it's very difficult for you. First time when you file, definitely you seek help of a patent agent, or you can contact a patent coordinator, or anybody who is in charge of the patent. So you can even contact me. I'll be assisting you how to clearly get your patent filed. Yeah. Thank you, Alan. And any other questions? Sure, sir. Need for institutions tie-up? Yes, definitely, yes. Institutions have any. Can you suggest any patent agent? Yes, I have patent agents. You can call me. You can call me. You can call. I have my number. 1 second. I will leave my number. Yes. So I myself I assist in patent filing. To my students, as well as participants from other colleges. They have listened to my presentation, and I'm helping other institution faculty members and other students also. Students from other colleges, for them, I'm helping them to get their patent filed. So you can always contact me at this phone number, or you can leave a mail for patent searching, for patent drafting, or you can always contact me for any assistance regarding patent filing. And a final tip for the participants: I wish all of you to set your foot on the patent industry. It is very new. There are very few patent attorneys. There are very few patent agents available. in your area, if you can find, you cannot even search for a patent agent. So once you become a patent agent, you can collect the inventions. You can collect the inventions from the school students, from the college students, and you can take it to the patent office. So you can do a service, and for which you can charge a nominal amount. So you can make a lot of money for patent agents are making a lot of money, because they actually pull it out. They do the best help in actually connecting the inventors with the patent office. Yeah. This is a very interesting question from Mr. Mahendra Kumar. What is an IPR journal publication? So that's a very interesting question. Once your patent is filed, and after 18 months, the Indian Patent Office publishes the patent in the patent journal. Okay, they have their own patent journal that you can look it at the Indian patent website. Okay, and once your patent is granted, so once the hearing is over and then your patent is granted, then the patent is filed, the patent is published to the IPR journal. So it is almost like a free journal, and that is published on the Indian patent website. So that's called an IPR journal publication. Mahendra Kumar sir, did I answer your question? Yeah, definitely a patent journal. See, and this is one final information for all of you. Now, even if you want to have your PhD, or one engineering patent is good to go. One engineering patent you have, you receive the grant, you are good to submit your PhD thesis. 2 journals, they say 2 journals, annexure 1 journals, otherwise 1 patent grant. That is a current amendment. Even IIT or NITs or even Anna universities or any big universities, 1 patent grant, you are good to submit your synopsis. You are good to submit your thesis. Okay. A patent is definitely powerful. Even comparing a journal, a patent is a very powerful tool, and it makes you different. So thank you for listening to my presentation. And if there are no queries, yes.
Sir, one more query.
Yes, sir.
Chat box. How close we can be to a prior art, or how different it should be from a prior art?
Oh, yes, I forgot this. I missed this question, sir. Mr. Raji from, he has asked a question. How close we can be to a prior art? Okay. There is no measurement like how close I can say, but that's a very interesting question, Raji. So what we can do is, like, there should be one thing that should really different. So when you, this is a very interesting question actually. When you have 10 claims, say for example, for my first invention, I had 9 claims. I had 10 claims actually, and 9 of my claims were approved. Okay, so when you have one claim, when you have one solid, rock solid novelty from your existing invention, definitely you can have your patent grant. So, but the patent office is very clear in in these things. It's a very subtle question you have asked, and it's a very good question. See, just by means of comparing 2 ideas, you cannot get a patent. That the patent office is very sure in these things. You take one product from one place, you take another product from another place, you simply mix it and you claim, you will not get it. When you take one product, when you take another product and you find a new product out of these things too, then you will get a patent. Okay, so my answer is, you should have a clear differentiation from the existing prior art. And there, the condition is very simple. There should be a definite non-obviousness. There should be a novelty, there should be a non-obviousness, and there should be a industrial applicability. Only then you can go for a patent. Did I answer your question, Raji? Thank you. All right, wonderful. So I welcome more questions, and I'm very happy. I'm really sorry that some kind of interruption happened in between. But anyway, we carried out this session. You can always contact me. You don't know how to do a patent search. You can always contact me. You can contact me for documentation. Definitely, I want all of you to file patents this year. This year, you have to file patents. And I want to give one example. There were 12 mechanical students from my college. From my college, there were 12 mechanical students. They filed patents, 3 patents, 4 members each. All the 12 students are now placed in very good companies. Even in this lockdown time, they didn't even get their result, but they are all placed. You know what those students said? They said, sir, we showed our resume on the interview, and they said we have filed a patent. They didn't ask any question. They didn't ask any question. We are straightly selected. I asked Murugan, where are you now? He said, sir, I'm in Bangalore. Oh, when did you get into job? He said, sir, the moment we got into the interview, we showed our resume and that's all. We are good to go. They saw our patent, they recruited us. So patent is a very, very powerful tool. So I want every student to give importance to this and, come out with some good inventions, do a proper search and do a proper documentation and do patent filing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Even though there were some hiccups in the initial stage, then we colleagues caught up and the session was very useful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Towards the end of the session, I will invite Dr. Anil Kumar, Professor in charge of Institution Innovation Council, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to one and all. I take this opportunity to thank the speaker, Professor Moshe Dayan, for delivering useful and informative talk. Thank you, sir, for sharing valuable information with us. I thank the management, principal, vice principal, and dean academic for the support and suggestion given. I thank all the faculty members, technical staff, and all the students for the active participation. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.